Most of the northern plains in the upper Midwest is considered rural. In this month's Agweek special report, Growing Rural, we look at what's going on to strengthen the economics of these areas and how agriculture development fits into that. I visited Pride Dairy in Bottineau, North Dakota, where they're strengthening their rural economy for almost a century. It's this week's Agweek cover story.
Our sole focus now is Pride Dairy.
Chris Allard and his wife Tanya bought Pride Dairy in 2018. The dairy has a rich history, first opening its doors in Bottineau, North Dakota in 1930. Pride Dairy began as a co-op in the 30s, where local farmers brought in their excess cream. But in 1950, with the help of refrigeration, Pride Dairy set its sights on producing ice cream along with its other dairy products and never looked back. For Allard, keeping the business in the same building it began almost a century ago and in the Bottineau community was important.
That's how I was born and raised, in a small town in Nebraska, so I know the value of how the community all comes together and supports one another. And it's not just this community, it's a state. The state of North Dakota is big on manufacturing and products that are made within the state, so that was just a small part of why we wanted to get into this business.
Sourcing milk locally can greatly help a rural community's economy. Jim Sulphur, University of Minnesota Extension educator, urges people and businesses to support local farmers.
So I think it is really important to keep those buy locally and help keep those small farms in business. There's just this tremendous consolidation going on, and I think one thing we can do is if we buy locally, it helps support the price locally a lot because of transportation, and that really can help our local communities.
We try to source as much as we can locally throughout the state. Dairy farms, it's getting fewer and far between. We do what we can to source as much locally with our choke cherries, our June berries, and as much of the dairy products we can.
While Allard has done everything he can to honor and preserve the history of Pride Dairy, he is excited for a new venture within the business.
You'll see here in the next couple weeks our new line of pints and ice cream sandwiches. It's under the O line. And we wanted to come up with a name that tied to the Midwest roots, and we tend to use that term a lot. And when we found out when we were sampling, that was usually the first thing that came out of somebody's mouth was, oh.
You can read much more in the next Agweek magazine and at agweek.com.
Thanks for watching AgweekTV on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every Saturday.